Hello everybody, it's Kevin with Inspiring How You See That, and today we have Gavin again. We always usually talk about the bands and the music industry, but today we're going to be talking about a little bit of the entertainment industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be talking about, we got to go to the AAA show this year in Columbus and got to go see Josh Gates, which is one of our favorite explorers, and it was really fun to go see, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we did was we put a little bit of, we're going to have the film right here in front of us. We're going to watch a little bit of it and talk about it, talk about the event and some of the things that Josh had talked about, and we'll put it behind us, and then we'll also play some of it. We'll go off screen for a little bit and let you guys watch that and enjoy some of the things that he is talking about and some of the places he's explored and some of the other items you talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how did you like that show?
It was good.
It was pretty good? Yeah, it was pretty good. So,
Except my feet got tired because I wasn't sitting down, but still.
yeah, there's a lot of walking around at the AAA, the Expo Center, and it's really fun, but we had to, of course, Josh had a pretty big crowd, so we had to stand there during the, when he was talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was all good, and we still had a pretty good spot to see and to be able to record, and to also let you guys kind of view that. So another pretty cool thing about Josh Gates is he's not only studied archaeology, but he's done drama and acting, which is you can definitely tell he's pretty good in front of the camera, and I also think he should be a pretty good comedian too. He has some pretty good. He's quick-witted, right? So, that's another reason why I like watching his shows. He's always got something that's pretty funny or a comment. Even as you see in this video feed, there's some some mistakes that were made in the beginning, and some of the things that he's talking about his hometown in Massachusetts. It's pretty comical, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty. It's pretty neat, and he goes on to talk a little bit about his hometown and some of the movie, and you'll see that within the video. And some of the programs, probably the two coolest ones I think is when he did the Egypt show, the live one. That was pretty cool, some of the things they found. And the Expedition Unknown, of course, which is still going on, and they had some new episodes starting in February, but unfortunately with March and April and May with the COVID and everybody's kind of restricted. Even we're restricted. We haven't even been able to really do anything or go out and explore ourselves, which we want to do. And we talked to Josh about that and had the opportunity to talk to him. And we were pretty excited about that too as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did you talk to him about?
We talked to him about how we went to some places to look for fossils.
Yeah.
And also how we were wanting to do gem hunting before COVID started.
Yeah. And then I think some metal detecting too, to try to find some treasures. And Josh gave us some pretty good key pointers. And, like you'll see in the video too with on his prompter screen, he was talking about where good places would be to go, and as you said, wherever you want to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's always somewhere different to explore, maybe somewhere somebody hasn't been to, or granted they might have been there, but you always can find different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So which was pretty neat. And at the end, and then he had talked about a little bit about the his book, right? And you got to get the book, right?
Yeah.
What's the book there?
Destination Truth.
Yeah, that's Josh Gates' book. I'm gonna hold it up there for you. So we got to talk a little bit to Josh about his book, and he had also signed it for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So of course that was in February date. So it's pretty neat. You guys should all check that out. We'll put a link in there to Josh's site, and you can purchase those books as well. And there's a few other different books and other videos and a number of different stuff. So we'll place that in there and let you guys check that out.
I'm going to say hi to everybody. How are ya? Well, first of all, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. This is like an insane crowd. I mean, guys, this is unbelievable. Normally I draw like 7 people. But I was in Chicago yesterday for a travel event. It wasn't nearly as packed as this, so thank you all so much for coming here. It means the world, really. Thank you. Thank you. And also a big thank you to our friends at Unknown. Maybe could be a part of your next vacation. So a little bit about me. I grew up in a very small town in Massachusetts that up until a few years ago nobody had ever heard of. And then they made a movie in my town, and now everybody's heard of it. Manchester by the Sea, the saddest movie ever made. Show of hands, who saw Manchester by the Sea? Oh, some of you saw it, okay. It stars Casey Affleck and that other guy. We were so excited. That's the real name of my town, Manchester-by-the-sea. Put it on the envelopes. And we heard they were coming to make a movie in our town, named after our town. We were so excited. And then we went to see it, and we were like, oh no. So please come visit. It is a beautiful little Norman Rockwell town. There's far fewer dead children than the movie would have you believe. It's a great little town. So I grew up in Manchester by the Sea. This is the library in our town. This is our town library. That's me on the wall. I was born in 1854. It's not me. But you know, there's no point in using a more recent photograph because the library looks exactly like this today. I mean, it looks exactly the same, except for those 4 kids who are definitely not with us anymore. But other than that, I guess it is a sad town. Other than that, it's exactly the same. Now, I would love to be able to tell you that I spent a lot of time in this library as a kid and that I was a real bookworm. I was in here occasionally. I did okay. But there was one thing, even as a kid in this library, that I loved and that always caught my eye. And that's this beautiful ornamental arch inside the library just as you go into the book stacks. And it has this beautiful Latin inscription. Any Latin buffs here? Anybody? The AAA team? Bill, you're fluent in Latin, right? You got that. Go ahead. No? Me neither, don't worry. The inscription says, "Choose wisely. Although the choice is brief, it will last you an eternity." Amazing advice for someone about to pick out a book. And I want to know, it's a secret I'm willing to share. The best place to go, other than right here in Columbus, is wherever the hell you want. That's the right answer. There's no such thing as the year of Australia. I'm sure the Dolomites are lovely. They'll be lovely next year. They've been there for 200 million years. There is no such thing as a best place. Travel is very personal. It's different for everybody. You know, if you want to hike the Inca Trail, then Peru is the destination of the year. If you want to see unparalleled wildlife, maybe the Serengeti and Tanzania is the destination of the year. If you want to pilot the Millennium Falcon, Orlando is the destination of the year, and don't we all? You know, there's something kind of stressful about this idea of the best places to go. You know, we all have that, that FOMO, fear of missing out. It's a real thing. And when we're planning a trip, we all kind of feel this. And with absolutely no disrespect to my hosts here today, even events like this can be a little overwhelming. Because you walk around and at every single booth, another amazing opportunity, another life-changing experience. You know, how do you wade through hundreds of opportunities, thousands of brochures? How do you choose where to go? So, because travel is so personal, I don't want to stand up here and tell you where to go, except Australia, which is the winner, apparently. Rather than do that, I'd like to tell you, or I'd like to suggest to you some ideas on how to choose where to go, okay? So this brings us back to Expedition Unknown, and a little bit of a roundabout journey here. You know, as I've been traveling around the world, as I said, for, over a decade, we've made a lot of shows. One piece of travel advice. After 12 years on the road, 108 countries, 7 continents, It's maybe the only important thing that I know, the only advice I may be able to give, which is to choose the unknown. That may sound simple, but I'm telling you, it is a powerful concept. I want all of you to think about the most thing we do is geared toward comfort. In our cars, our phones, the way we communicate, the way we date, the way we order food, the way we do everything is geared toward streamlining and simplifying and making things easier. And I'm here to tell you that comfort will kill you. Or at the very least, it's not worth everything it's cracked up to be. Let's put it another way. Why travel? Anybody, what's the point of traveling? To have fun. Great answer. What else? To what? To improve yourselves. New experience, someone said. Adventure. What's that? Create memories. Okay, so if you break down, these are all great answers, and if you break down the reasons we travel, they tend to fall into 3 buckets. We want new experiences, adventure, new things. To your point, sir, we want to grow, we want to learn, we want to improve ourselves. And yes, we want to have fun, we want to relax. These are the reasons why we travel. Now, relaxing is not that hard to achieve. Now, it's hard to get time off, it's hard to make time to relax. But if you have the time, I mean, I can relax at home. I got a huge Netflix queue to get through. Uber Eats can bring tacos to my door. I can relax. You give me a week, I can relax. But these other 2 things, having real experiences and growing and learning in some way, those are harder. And you have to get outside your comfort zone in order to do those. You have to embrace the unknown, and you have to embrace a sense of adventure. Adventure is good for you. Clinically speaking, it is good for you. You know, I always say, I don't think all travel should be easy. I don't even think all travel should be fun. Dangerous thing to say at a travel show. Now, I'm not saying you should sign yourself up for some slog up a mountain, miserably dragging your kids along. But the idea that any trip you take should involve some element of challenge. Some of the most memorable trips I've ever been on were the ones in which I didn't know if I could do something, or I didn't know what the experience was going to be. Not all vacations need to be summiting a mountain, but integrating the unknown into whatever you do pays huge dividends. A few years ago, there was a report by the Global Commission on Aging, and it found a couple of really interesting things. First of all, it said that men who don't take an annual trip have a 30% greater risk of heart attack and heart disease. No real surprise there, right? If we don't move and we don't go do things, we're at higher risk for heart disease. But here's the part that's much more interesting. The report said that when you expose your brain to an environment that is complex or new or difficult, the brain reacts in wild ways. Challenging situations cause the brain to sprout dendrites. These are these little neural connectors that make us smarter. Your brain, quote, literally begins to look like a jungle. The study said that difficult travel is an ideal method. It drops your brain into a place that's complex, you are stunned a little bit, and the brain reacts by being engaged, and you process on a deep level. This is one of dozens of studies that have found this same thing. Adventure is good for you. So here's a little example from my own life. I'm in LA for a lot of the year, unfortunately. So we go to Vegas sometimes. Vegas is one of those kind of easy destinations if you live on the West Coast. Really fun town. I love Vegas. I got no beef with Vegas. But all of the trips, little weekend trips and stuff I've done over the years to Vegas, they all kind of blend together. You know, they're all kind of indistinct, not just because of which trip was it where we stayed at that hotel, or did we see a show that time, or who was with us on that? And that's because meaningless, kind of ephemeral fun, while fun, doesn't really stay with you. It kind of comes and goes, and you tend in 5 or 10 years to forget about it. Real experiences, the kind that stick with you for years, they come from the unknown. So we go back to our list. Think of it this way. Somebody said it over here. Beyond wanting to go and have new experiences, travel is an investment. It's, I mean, financially, obviously an investment. You're spending money, often a lot of money, to go and take a trip. But it's really, and so the question is, what are you investing in? You're ultimately investing in memories. The trip is going to come and go, and hopefully that money is invested in you, your kids, remembering this trip, savoring it well past the experience itself. So you don't want to spend all that money to forget about your experience. This kind of travel that embraces adventure and the unknown, it tends to stick with you, sticks to your ribs. It forms memories that are more vivid and more lasting. The study I was talking about, the very best part of it, this is the important takeaway. It says that even if you mostly take a vacation, but you incorporate some elements of challenge and adventure, you tend to have a better takeaway from the trip as a whole. Think of adventure as a hot sauce. It adds spice, it adds flavor, it kicks the entire experience up a notch. The problem, of course, is when we think about the unknown, we think about words like this. Words that universally we run away from when we're planning a trip, you know? We don't want risk, we don't want danger. But these words, almost without exception, these are the things we avoid, but really, they are things to be moved toward. Not peril, not undue danger, but chance and surprise and challenge and risk. Those are good things.
So we hope you all enjoyed a little bit about Josh Gates and some of his travels and some of his insight as far as where to go, where to check out, and some of the adventures that you can go on. Of course, everybody has always a different adventure, whether it be treasure hunting, going out looking for fossils, gems, or just traveling around the world to see other areas, different cultures, how they do things differently than we do. And we always find that interesting, like to learn other cultures' methods and techniques and all of that, right? Mm-hmm. So we hope you all enjoyed that, and we look forward to talking to you next time, and we'll have maybe a new band, new artist, or something with the entertainment industry, and we'll post that to you. So if there's something that you want to see and or talk to us about and or ask us questions, just send us a comment below or even send us a message, and we'd be more than happy to check that out, or maybe even to do an interview, right? Mm-hmm. So we look forward to seeing you. We hope you're all well. We'll see you next time.
Bye.